Okay, welcome to Smethport as we ready to play game 2 today for the Lady Gators. Looks like we are going to get today's game started a little early as it is about 10 to 3 here. Game was scheduled for 3 o'clock, but both teams were playing a doubleheader today and are ready to go, so we're going to get started. Run through the lineup here quickly for you. Starting on the mound for Smethport will be Khan. And catching her will be Coral Ternetti. First baseman will be Jaden Goodman. Second baseman will be Miller. Third baseman will be Edgar. And the shortstop will be Peyton Neff. Outfield will have Weimer in left, Smith in center, and Yingling in right. Turn that a little bit quick. First way over here and left. Try to adjust the camera here for you a little bit, get a little more on the left field side if we can. Good. For the Lady Gators, we'll have a similar lineup as we did earlier this morning. Sienna Lathrop would be leading off, playing left field. Maddie Eric will be batting second and catching. Pitcher Bria Wilcox will be batting third. The right fielder Elena McCurvey will be batting cleanup. The shortstop Gianna Glasgow will be batting fifth. Third baseman Bryn Evans will be batting sixth. Alyssa Tanner is going to be DHing this game and batting seventh. Emily Eric, the center fielder, will be batting eighth. And Peyton Gordon, the first baseman, will be batting ninth. Lily O'Rourke will be playing second base in the field today. And we're ready to get started here with Sienna Lathrop. And Lathrop takes a strike on first pitch of the game. And Lathrop hits that one off the hands, and it's going to run foul. So a quick 0-2 count here on Lathrop. So Chloe Kahn here with an 0-2 count to start the game. And strike three called on the outside corner. Veteran umpire Ron Burr behind the plate today for this game. And rookie umpire Joe Bunnell is on the bases. Maddie Eric digs in here with one out. And she sits on Kahn's ball, grounds it to third. That's fumbled around, and the throw is late. Eric will be on with an error, and that'll bring up pitcher Bria Wilcox. So Edgar had trouble handling that ball. Eric will get on, and Bria Wilcox will dig in. Eric is off on the first pitch. The ball is high, and no throw as Eric will be safe at second with a stolen base. Ball two called by Mr. Burr. Wilcox follows that one straight back for a 2-1 count. Lady Gators are looking to bounce back from a loss earlier this morning as they fell 12-4 to the Bradford Lady Owls. Wilcox dribbles that one up the middle. Shortstop struggles with it. Eric takes a wide turn at third, but she's going to get back, and Wilcox is going to be safe on the second error of the inning for the Lady Hubbers. DeRouche is going to be in to run for Wilcox, as is the custom typically for the Lady Gators. And Elena McCurvey will dig in. McCurvey watches the first pitch go over her head as Drew steals second. McCurvey pops that one in foul territory. The catcher, Teretti, tries to make an attempt as she slides into the fence, unable to squeeze it. So 1-1 count here on McCurvey. McCurvey drives that one to the right center field gap. Eric's going to score. DeRouche is coming in, and McCurvey's going to jog in with a stand-up double. Good job there by McCurvey as the Gators adjust to the speed difference between last game to this game. And Glasgow pops that one out to right center. That drops in front of the center fielder. McCurvey's going to come home as a throw comes into second base, and the Gators jump out to a quick 3-0 lead. That'll bring up Bryn Evans for the Lady Gators. And Evans drives that one towards center field. That's going to drop for a single. Glasgow had to hold up, make sure nobody was going to catch that. But she's safe, and runners on first and second here for the DH, Alyssa Tanner. Coach Barnett giving signs. And that pitch is high. Ball one. And ball two as Trinetti skies to gather that one. Tanner goes down and gets that one, grounds it to first. Goodman struggles with it, picks it up, and that'll be the second out as Glasgow dances off third, but she's going to return, as does Evans. And that'll bring up center fielder Emily Eric. Eric watches ball one bounce in. And Eric jumps on the second pitch. It's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Glasgow scores. Here comes Evans. So a 2-run single for Eric. And she's going to take second as the throw gets past the second baseman. And so the Gators with a 5-0 lead here in the top of the first as Peyton Gordon digs in. Gordon with a swing and a miss for strike one. Gordon watches ball one float in. And Gordon with a swing and a miss. Emily Eric's jogging to third, and the third baseman drops the throw. She's going to be safe. I'm not sure what happened there. I think Emily may have had the count wrong, but either way, she's going to be safe with a 1-2 count now. And that pitch is high, 2-2 count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Gordon's going to take ball 3. Full count. Lady Gators have pushed 5 across already here in the top of the first and have a runner at third in the form of Emily Eric. And ball 4 to Gordon. So Gators now with runners at the corners, and they've batted around. So Sienna Lathrop will be up again. Lathrop made the first out of the inning, and the Gators have had much success since then. She watches ball one float up as Gordon jogs to second with a stolen base. Lathrop pops that one up. It's going to be caught by the left fielder. So Weimer comes in, makes a nice running grab. As the Gators send 10 to the plate that inning and score 5 runs, as we'll head to the bottom of the first. We'll be back in 60 seconds. All right, so we're ready here for the bottom of the first with Miller leading off for the Lady Hubbers. And she takes strike one. And that pitch is a bit outside. So a 1-1 count here. Swing and a miss there from the second baseman. 1-2 count here for Wilcox as the ball gets away from her on the way back, and Emily Erick's going to track that down from center field. And a swing and a miss, so Wilcox gets a strikeout for the first batter of this game. And that'll bring up shortstop Peyton Neff. Neff's going to send a sandstorm this way as she digs in. And we got a check swing on the first pitch. Looks like the Gators aren't going to appeal that, so we'll have a 1-0 count. And that's a swing and a miss, so 1-1. Strike two called on the inside corner. And Neff reaches out and slices that one down the right field line. It's going to be a foul ball as McCurvey goes over to pick it up and get it back in. Lady Gators are making Bria Wilcox work this inning, trying to get the ball back to her. And that fouls it off again. Still a 1-2 count here with one out. Backstop here at Menser Field is much further back than we've played the last several games, so Maddie Eric will have to be on her toes today. And that pitch just misses. 2-2 count. And foul tip caught by Maddie Eric for out number 3, or out number 2. He caught it. Kill that. So that'll be officially a strikeout for Wilcox, and Jaden Goodman's now up. And called strike 1. Ball 1 wide and outside. So 1-1 count. Swing and a miss there from Goodman. Strike 2. Well, I did the same thing. I called her sister. This is Jenna Goodman, not Jaden. And she's going to take ball 2. 2-2 count. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Wilcox strikes out the side. And the Lady Gators will head to the top of the second with a 5-0 lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds. right, Matty Eric will lead it off here for the Lady Gators as Kahn digs in. And that ball will be low. Ball 2 is high. And ball 3 is high. So Matty Eric's looking at a 3-0 count here. And ball 4 bounces off the plate, so Eric will hustle down to first as Trinetti tracks the ball down. And that'll bring up pitcher Bria Wilcox. As we've got a timeout here. And Kallenborn's going to run for Eric. So the courtesy runner for Matty Eric, as Bria Wilcox is going to dig in here with no outs. And Wilcox squares the bunt, but that ball bounces in as she pulls back, and Kallenborn steals second. Wilcox squares the bunt again. Ball gets past Trinetti, and Kallenborn's going to take a base on the wild pitch. So 2-0 count here on Wilcox. Wilcox squares again. That pitch is over her head. So now a 3-0 count. And Wilcox squares and lays down the 3-0 bunt. Kallenborn's going to come home. Nobody's covering the plate. And Wilcox is going to be safe at first on the fielder's choice. And we're going to have a courtesy runner here for Wilcox, and it'll be DeRouche again. So DeRouche at first, a run in for the Gators as McCurvey steps in. She squares the bunt. That pitch is over Trinetti's head. And DeRouche is going to be safe as she was running on the play. Kirby squares again on another high pitch. So 2-0 count. Kirby squares. She's going to bunt that one down the third base line. It's going to roll foul. So a 2-1 count here as DeRouche returns to second. Kirby squares again, gets this bunt down. That's fielded by Kahn. She throws it to first. McCurvey's going to be out as DeRouche is going to take home as the throw goes back to the pitcher. So McCurvey with the sacrifice bunt with a runner at second base to get the Gators another run. And Glasgow tries to bunt that. That's going to be foul. And Glasgow digs, she squares again. That pitch is over her head. 1-1 count. Glasgow again squares, and the pitch is again over her head. Got an offer. Umpire calls that a strike. And Glasgow's going to ground that one to shortstop. Neff unable to make a play. Glasgow's going to be safe. We're going to give her an infield single there. I don't think Neff was going to get her either way. And that'll bring up Bryn Evans. Evans squares the bunt. She gets it down to third base line. That's picked up by Edgar. Evans is going to beat it out. Nobody covering third as Glasgow rounds. The throw goes into left field. Glasgow's going to score on the play as Evans takes second. And that'll make the score 8-0 with Alyssa Tanner up to bat. And a ball to Tanner. Tanner squares the bunt also. That pitch goes to the backstop. Evans is going to take third. 2-0 count here on Tanner. With one out, Tanner squares again. And gets that ball down as was headed. Edgar picks it up. Throw is wide as Evans scores. Tanner's going to head to second as the throw went into right field. And the ball comes back to the pitcher here with the Gators now leading 9-0. Eric checking her signs on the ball. And Eric gets the bunt down, but that's going to be touched foul by Edgar. So 1-1 count here on Emily Eric as Tanner sits at second base. Eric squares again. That pitch is behind her. It goes to the backstop as Tanner's going to take third. And Eric bunts that one foul, so a 2-2 count here. And Eric fouls that one off with his 2-strike count. And Eric swing and miss, but the ball gets past the catcher as Eric's going to head to first. Tanner returns back to third as we have runners at the corners with Peyton Gordon coming up. Gordon now squares the bunt. She goes down and gets that one, a perfect drag bunt. Nobody covering first. The throw hits Gordon in the back as Emily Eric heads to third. She rounds and takes a look at home. As the throw comes into the pitcher, Eric's going to head back. And Gordon safe on the single. And Lathrop's going to square the bunt. Lathrop with a drag bunt to first. Again, nobody covering. Lathrop's going to beat the ball there. And Gordon's going to take third on the throw. So a single there for Lathrop. And runners still at the corners for Maddie Eric, with the Lady Gators leading 11-0. Maddie squares the bunt. That pitch almost hits her, but she bunts it foul. And Lathrop will head back to first. That pitch gets behind Eric. Gordon's going to stay at third, but Lathrop is going to take second on the pitch. So 2 runners in scoring position here for Maddie Eric, who squares the bunt again. She gets that one down. It's rolling down the third baseline. It's touched by Edgar Fowl. So a 1-2 count now here on Maddie. Eric takes that pitch high. 2-2 count. And ball 3 bounces in. Full count here with 1 out. And ball 4. So the bases are loaded here for Bria Wilcox. And we got another courtesy runner here for Maddie Eric. That's going to be Caitlin Callenborn again. As the Lady Gators have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the second, leading 11-0. Wilcox digs in. And she's going to pop one up towards the shortstop. Infield fly. Gordon came home. The ball's getting thrown all over the infield. Gordon's going to have time to get all the way back to third without the Hubbers realizing she had left. And so 2 outs now. And that'll bring up McCurvey. Kirby 1 for 1 today. She goes up and fouls that one off. Again, bases loaded here. 2 outs now. Scoreboard went out on us. McCurvey lines that one towards center field. The center fielder knocks it down, but it's going to be a single for McCurvey. And as she dribbles the ball in center, the Lady Gators are going to have 3 runs score as McCurvey stands on second. That's going to make the score 14-0 with Gianna Glasgow coming up to bat. And the Lady Hubbers get out of it as Glasgow grounds it back to the pitcher. And that'll make it 14-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. We'll be back in 60 seconds. So the Lady Gators make a few changes here as we head to the bottom of the second. Mary Dibbles in at shortstop for Glasgow. Kendra Bell is in at first for Gordon. And Molly Barber is in right field for McCurvey. Kahn, the pitcher, will lead off here for the Lady Hubbers. Yeah, I mean, I already. Kahn with a swing and a miss on the first strike. Evans playing in at third. Kahn again with a swing and a miss. And Kahn hits that one off the end of her bat. Bell is going to get it. She flips it to O'Rourke. But Kahn's going to beat it out for an infield single. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Trinetti. Strike one called. Swing and a miss there from Trinetti as Kahn takes off for second. The throw there is there from Eric, but Dibble's unable to handle it as Kahn's going to slide in safe with a stolen base. That pitch is low to Trinetti. Another ball. Swing and a miss there for Trinetti. And that's going to be out number one. As Benjamin will be up. Lady Hubbers or the runner on second still. And first pitch is outside for ball one. Ball two, a bit high. A 2-0 count here on Benjamin. Benjamin fouls that one off for strike one. Swing and a miss, 2-2 count. And ball three is high. Full count here on Benjamin. And And Benjamin gets a piece of that, grounds it foul down past Bell at first. And that one's popped towards the shortstop. Dibble's unable to get there. Emily Eric will pick it up in center. She's going to come up firing. Ball comes home. And Kahn slides under the catcher. So the Hubbers get their first run. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Edgar. Strike one called. Swing and a miss there for Edgar for strike two. Or I'm sorry, not Edgar. Oh, yeah, it is Edgar. 0-2 count. And Edgar pops that one up towards first. Bell calls it. She'll squeeze it for out number two. And that'll bring up Smith. With 2 outs and a runner on first. And ball one called. Strike one called. Swing and a miss there. 1-2 count. That pitch is a bit outside. 2-2 count. Smith fights that one off to stay alive. And strike three called. So Smith goes down looking as we head to the top of the third. Bryn Evans will lead off for the Lady Gators. And score is 14-1 in favor of the Lady Gators. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Yeah, Northern Potter. You going Monday or? Okay.
Yeah, Northern Potter.
It's a late game. It's 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably think that.
Did you say 8 for 15? You don't have 15. Huh? Oh, for them. right, Bryn Evans to lead it off here in the top of the third. And she takes the first pitch for a strike. I apologize. I'm not sure what happens with this backup camera we have, but it keeps going out on us. Evans squares the bunt. She bunts that one foul, so an 0-2 count. And that pitch is high. 1-2 count. Evans pops that one up towards second base. Second baseman squeezes it for out number one. And that'll bring up Tanner. And ball two hits the backstop, which is impressive here in Smethport. The backstop's about 20 feet behind the plate. Swing and a miss for strike one for Tanner. 2-1 count with one out. That pitch is inside. 3-1 count on Tanner. And ball four is high, so Tanner's going to take first. And that'll bring up Emily Eric. Eric watches the first ball high. And the second pitch gets past Ternetti as Tanner's going to take second. 2-0 count here on Eric. And she's going to hit that one out of play for 2-1 count. Ball three is high as Tanner dances off second. And Eric lines that one to right field. Tanner's going to round third, and she's going to score with no throw as Eric will get the RBI single. That'll make the score 15-1 as Kendra Bell will get her first plate appearance today. And she fouls that one off. Ball one is over the catcher's head as Eric's going to jog into second. Strike two is called at the eyes, apparently. So 1-2 count here on Bell. And Bell pulls that one foul. Ball two is over Kendra's head. And another foul ball from Kendra. That pitch bounces off the plate for a full count. And ball 4. Kendra Bell's going to get the walk. And that's going to bring up leadoff hitter Sienna Lathrop with runners on first and second and 1 out. Lathrop's 1 for 3 in this game. She had a nice drag bunt in her last plate appearance. She's going to swing away this way. She's going to be called out for stepping on the plate when she contacted the ball. And that'll bring up Maddie Eric with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Lady Gators still need another run here to get to the 15-run threshold. That pitch is high. Emily Eric's going to take off trying to steal third. Ball's going to get into right field or left field, and Eric's going to jog home safe. And that'll get the Gators a 16-1 lead here as we're in the 3rd inning. Eric grounds that one to third. Edgar comes up throwing. Goodman juggles it. Eric's going to be safe as Bell rounds third. And she's going to stay there, so runners now at the corners. And Bria Wilcox up the bat. Eric takes off stealing second. That pitch bounces in, but Bell's going to stay at third. Ball 3 is over Wilcox's head. So 3-0 count here. And ball 4. So Wilcox takes a 4-pitch walk. And we have a courtesy runner here, and it's going to be Lillian Reed, who's going to come in for Wilcox. As Molly Barber will be up to bat. So the Gators have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And a first pitch to Barber goes to the backstop. No one's advancing. Swing and a miss for strike 1 for Barber. Barber pops that one up. And it hits just over our head. 1-2 count here on Barber with 2 outs. Ball 2 high. So deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the top of the third. Barber takes ball 3 in the dirt. Full count now as the runners will be moving on the pitch. And Barber flies that one towards short. Neff's going to call it, and she squeezes it as she's tipping over for the third out. But the Lady Gators get a couple more runs to make it 16-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. I see Reed. So Reed's going to come in to play second base, and she's also going to bat. So the Lady Gators are going to remove the designated hitter. Although that won't matter unless the Hubbers score here in the bottom of the third. As Yingling, the right fielder, will lead off. She's the 9th place hitter. And then the Hubbers will be back to the top of the lineup. So Yingling leading off here for the Hubbers. And she swings and misses on the first pitch from Wilcox. Wilcox has been very efficient so far today. She's at 41 pitches here as we start the third inning. That pitch is outside. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And that pitch is a bit wide. 2-2 count. And strike 3 called. That's a 6 strikeout so far today for Wilcox through 7 outs. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, Miller. And she takes a strike to start the at-bat. Ball 1 high. Ball 2 high. Swing and a miss there for Miller. 2-2 count now. And that's grounded to first. Bell's going to field it and take it herself for the second out of the inning. So a couple of nice plays at first by Kendra Bell today, as shortstop Peyton Neff will be up for the Lady Hubbers. Swing and a miss there. Strike one. Swing and a miss for strike two on Neff. And Neff hangs with a foul ball there. And Neff grounds that one to short. Glasgow comes up, or I'm sorry, Mary Dibble. And Neff is going to beat it out for an infield single. So that's the second infield single of the day for the Lady Hubbers, as Goodman will dig in. Goodman struck out first at bat. She gets that one. It's going to spin. Evans picks it up and fires to Bell for the third out, and that's the ball game. So nice charging play there by Evans, and Lady Gators will split on the day. Lost to Bradford, but they pull out the 16-1 victory today against the Lady Hubbers. And your Lady Gators will be back in action on Monday at the league-leading Northern Potter Lady Panthers. That's going to be a 6 o'clock start, as the Lady Panthers have a doubleheader that day, playing Gailton before they play Port Allegany. So that'll be it for today, and we'll be back live on Monday. Thank you, and have a good weekend.